We've warmed up.
I think we've warmed up too. I think we're goddamn machines. We don't need warm ups. We could just
And one other
hit the
thing,
fucking ground running.
Gavin McInnes. Do you know Gavin McInnes?
The former Proud Boy guy?
The founder of Vice,
Yeah, media.
Vice
Yeah,
Media.
yeah.
But yeah, I think he started the Proud Boys too, which he doesn't talk too much about anymore.
Or just affiliated.
Occasionally. He's like the most Gen X guy ever. Right. I don't know. No one more. Him and Elon Musk in my mind are like the most Gen X of Gen X.
Yeah.
Um, and
Means their life was probably totally awesome.
all constantly.
You grow up like with the 80s. So you really get it. You get that real taste of the American
Everything
good
being
life.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It'd be a cool ass time to be a dude.
Hell yeah. In the 80s,
Yeah.
what couldn't you do?
You have the keys to the castle.
Yeah, really. So he dressed up as his twin brother, Miles McInnes, who is a communist agitator, and he visited the campus protests. There's
I thought you were about to say like he created this alter ego so he could like say the N word and it not be him.
no, he didn't do that.
Yeah. So okay. So he's on college campus. So
He went to
he's checking out.
Columbia
He went to
and
Columbia.
pretended to give a tour of the it. I don't know. You have to see it. Anyway, if it offends you, we don't have to watch it if you don't
Did,
like him.
did he agitate? Was he kettling?
No, it was a comedy bit.
Did he do good humor?
I thought it was funny.
Okay. Do you want to play
I
it?
found it funny. Oh, we can get to it. We can get to it later. But we
All
can
right.
talk
Well,
about
do you mind if I start the show? Hey, can I ask you something? Do you mind? Do you mind if I start the show? Monday, April 29th. Lee, I'd like to start off today saying happy Passover to all of our beautiful listeners,
Thank you, Ryan.
all you subs and slaves out there, subscribing listeners, enslaved to our great media. Happy Passover to you. Um, the unwashed included. What do they call non-Jews?
Gentiles.
Gentiles. All you Gentiles.
Gentiles.
Gentiles. All you Gentiles out there as well. How has your week gone, Lee? What's new with you?
I was in Charleston, South Carolina, the gem of the South, last week.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful city. I was very impressed how clean and functional the like main area was that I was in. Um, Went on a little boat tour
Got
there,
out there in the
a little
harbor.
work. Yeah, I did a little work in the room, a little show
Did,
business.
did you make it to King Street?
I was on King Street.
Did you hit up the
I was on
nightlife?
my hotel was on King Street. I didn't see any of the nightlife because I felt like I was probably 20 years too old to be involved
Yeah,
with
probably.
whatever was going on there.
That's a college scene.
And I'm 36, so I felt I had 2 decades over most people there, at a minimum.
Yeah, it could get creepy. Being that age, being a man, being a full grown man.
But it was totally college kids. The
Yeah,
whole town was
yeah.
college kids. Even I went to a restaurant by myself one night. There's a guy a little bit older than me there with two guys. They're like real estate brokers or something. I don't even know. And they look like they're 23. They're college kids too. Like even the professionals there, like the are children. So it's a very young vibe there. What I saw, I was on King Street, so I was on the main drag there. Not a big place.
I think we probably have some listeners in the Charleston area. Listeners, or if you're not from there and write us into the show. What happens if you're older than 23 and you live in Charleston? What do you do? Because you're living in a coastal situation and you have like an old colonial home or something renovated
But I
recently,
live here in Boca Raton, so
restored.
I feel like the youngest person everywhere I go. Constantly, I'm the young, down here in South Florida. I'm easily.
You think you maybe just be seeing that because you're thinking it as you're getting to be close to like a senior citizen?
Probably.
You're now closer to 80 than you are to your fifth birthday.
I
Isn't
don't
that
think that's
crazy?
right.
That's, isn't that insane to think about?
I'm not sure that adds up, but I'm no expert. So Ryan, let's why
Can
don't
you
you get,
gamble in South Carolina?
you know what?
Is
I
gambling
wish.
legal?
Not going to be a place you can gamble.
They should
Maybe
have,
there's a casino outside of Charleston, some Indian lands.
you should be able to get on boats around Charleston and gamble. You should be able to do that.
Riverboat tour. I went on a riverboat tour.
While you
It
were
was
there,
yeah, I did. The last night I was there. It was for a business conference, so the last night, if you paid $50, you could come on the boat with all the other people in the conference. All you can eat,
open bar,
all you can drink, open bar.
karaoke.
No, just light conversation. Is really all the entertainment you had.
No poker tables.
No, nothing that you would look at and be like, this is a lot of fun. Fortunately, I had my handy pen with me that enabled me to navigate those waters
That's clutch.
with skill and grace.
Hmm.
But otherwise, and plenty of White Claw. I mean, I don't even know how many I had
You cracked like more than four.
easily within the first with it was only 2 hours, so maybe like a solid six, I would say. I had
Ooh,
to pee a lot. When you're
they
at
go through
that
you.
level, yeah, those things, it's like water through a sheet. Is that an expression even?
It's like
So I thought it was a really nice
pissing,
place
pissing
for
in the sea.
Americans.
Oh, cool. Great. Well, that sounds like a five-star review.
Wholesome town, a wholesome town of American values.
That's an extra large garbage bag full of juice times five review. 5 bags of garbage juice.
It's like if Jacksonville was nice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Charleston.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I could imagine Jacksonville being nice.
If it wasn't just a bunch of highways and Total Wine uh, distribution centers,
Strip
it would be
malls.
Charleston.
But I mean, living near the coast has its pleasures, has its strong points. Coastal
That's
living
right.
is
That's
pretty
right.
sweet.
That's right. You probably miss it. You probably miss it.
That's kind of one of our topics. That's one of our sayings. We're a coastal living show.
Coastal living.
Coastal living.
Coastal living show. Yeah. We're coastal elites,
We're coastal
right?
elites. Yeah, we've proudly taken that word. We've taken that slur and made it our own for ourselves.
Right. What does elite really mean?
Mm-hmm.
It means elite at podcasting.
High
So when you
value,
live on the coast
and
and you're an
you're
elite podcast,
a
you're a
high
coastal elite.
a high value male.
There's like a Forbes coastal elite podcaster list. I
Mm-hmm.
believe we're high on that.
Yeah, I know for a fact we're high on that. We're high on that stuff. We're high. We're
So,
high on them. We're high on them lists.
uh, are you looking to come back to live by the ocean? I mean, there's a lot of lakes in Atlanta, right? There's a lot of bodies of water in
Not that
northern
many.
Georgia.
No, they're gross. So there's not that many. Maybe certain types of years better. Um, Almana something Lake River is the widest, but the
I
Chattahoochee
always
is the
hear how
biggest.
pleasant that like MTG's Marjorie Taylor Greene, her district is considered one of the most beautiful in the United States.
Hmm.
That's where you live, right?
Yeah,
She's your rep.
that's north of me. Okay, this is you asked about, oh, do I plan one day to return to coastal living? And my answer is yes.
Very
Unfortunately,
good.
the ocean though will be meeting to near my backyard. That's right. If you take a topography approach of the American Southeast, they call the it's like peed layer,
Hmm.
and it's essentially just a lower part of the continental shelf. So as the ocean water rises, Florida will be an underwater city. It won't be gone. Fear not, folks. We will have figured out how to live underwater.
Fuck yeah.
It'll be maybe just like a space station, but
Exactly.
Florida will be saved. Your property, your family, homes, and friends, everyone will be fine. Florida can just keep rocking as one of the greats through all of time, and gambling will be legal everywhere by that time as well.
For sure.
But oceanfront will come up to like probably around Macon or just north of there. You have a nice oceanfront airport to get to, where by which way, if you're coming from Florida, is now the submerged Florida. You'll have an option of
Submarine. We'll
you'll
just
have
submarine.
yeah, you're like an Uber submarine. You could say we could do a train. Well, trains are illegal at this point in the future, but yeah, it'll be an Uber style underwater submarine.
I like it. Well, I'm not leaving Florida, so I accept living underwater
Yeah,
happily.
because it's gonna be so fucking cool. The way they're gonna do it, I can't even like. I first of all, I don't know, but also I know, and I just it's hard to put into words. I got a video.
Let's do it.
Nothing really affects comedy. People always need it. They need it so badly, and they don't get it. It used to be you would go home at the end of the day. Most people would go, "Oh, Cheers is on. Oh, MASH is on. Oh, Mary Tyler Moore is on. All in the Family's on." You just expected there'll be some funny stuff we can watch on TV tonight. Well, guess what? Where is it? This is the result of the extreme left and PC crap and people worrying so much about offending other people. Mm-hmm. When you write a script and it goes,
Jerry Seinfeld fucking gloves off on the New Yorker radio hour. I guess this is like a podcast, and we're watching a clip from Jerry Seinfeld being interviewed about comedy, his take on it. And I'm going to start this off right now by explaining, yes, just like last episode, we see a comedian in the digital tabloids. So we know he's promoting something, and he is dropping something called Unfrosted, new comedy movie on a streaming service, maybe a Netflix thing. So he's back making himself relevant, and he's doing a pretty good job because he's all over your timelines. Now he says, I'll replay it here.
well, guess what? Where is it? This is the result of the extreme left and PC crap.
Yeah, PC crap. The censoring of comedy. I can formulate with that, but I can't get behind blindly blaming the far left for the censorship in the thing that we're watching that's given to us by a business that's making dollar and cents decision making. The far left doesn't have any actual power. There's no sitting far left senator, president. It's not a thing. So the far left power has power to sway the narrative because they're like pulling the strings behind that part. That's just what is in the people's decision making that do sales, that do marketing, that do HR, and they do the thing that is PC for companies to sell fucking content, and they do it because it's making them money. I'll keep playing it.
And people worrying so much about offending other people.
Mm-hmm.
When you write a script and it goes into 4 or 5 different hands, committees, groups, here's our thought about this joke, well, that's the end of your comedy. They move the gates, like in skiing. Yeah. Culture, the gates are moving. Your job is to be agile and clever enough that wherever they put the gates, I'm going to make the gate.
Well, I do mostly agree with what he's saying, though.
Yeah, I do too. I think there's a lot of fear in people getting canceled for putting something out that isn't going to be politically correct. I think that fear is a big motivator too, not just money. So the fear of getting fired from your job for not saying or doing the right thing. But the intelligentsia demands of the culture. So he's just frustrated at that because, like you said before, I don't know if we recorded this, but living in the 80s seemed to be pretty dope, right? You know what they didn't have a lot of in the 80s? PC.
Woke, the woke mind virus in our media.
That's for sure. I wasn't there.
So there's a division made in our media, but goddamn it, people just want to find funny. Is this a cry?
That's right.
He's just a.
That's right.
It's a battle cry to make sure that things stay funny and relevant.
Have you heard anything funny recently, Ryan? Have you seen anything funny recently? That hasn't been on a social media app.
Do you remember what Conan said? You could find funny in the Bible. You can find funny in your grandmother's diary. You can find it in the greats.
Is that when he was having his mental breakdown with the chicken wing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like wise words to live by, right?
Yeah. I think Curb Your Enthusiasm is funny. I think that Tim Heidecker and the On Cinema thing continues to be hysterical. Laugh out loud moments.
Maybe Jerry Seinfeld isn't funny anymore.
I mean, the viewership totals kind of show like Larry David, he kept staying relevant. Curb was really popular. It's like one of the most popular. But then Comedian Cars, Coffee and Cars, I don't know what he was doing.
There was nothing funny about it. It wasn't as funny. It wasn't a funny show.
It's on like a permanent hiatus right now.
I watched it
Yeah.
when he took Obama out
Yeah,
and
we
gave
love.
him and
Oh,
sucked his
man.
dick in the car. You didn't see that?
I do remember it,
Gave
but
him roadhead while they were driving around the White House.
I remember that, but it was so stupid. I would never have watched. Now I would watch though.
Why would you watch now?
The dumber the better. That's the same reason I'm watching Yellowstone, man. Oh, I'm like I just finished season 2.
Who's that with?
It is Boomer.
Is it with Kevin Costner?
Yeah. He talks like
How old
this
is
the
he?
whole time, man. I'm an old cowboy man. I'm just out here living as a millionaire. And I supply shelter and sustenance for no less than 45 adults and some grandchildren. I'm just a humble man, and I love riding horses. But we also do a little dirty business on the side. Make sure we keep this farm in our house, in our name, as in 1885 our grandfather did. Alpha, ruggedness, cowboy. It's so dumb.
You love it though. You love it though.
It's so good.
You can't get enough of it.
Years ago, I would never have watched such garbage.
You would have never. You
No.
wouldn't have had the time. Honestly, you wouldn't have had the time to, because unlike other college students these days, you wouldn't have had time to just sit somewhere.
There were times in my life where I didn't have access to television in the same way that I do now. It should be everyone's God-given right if you're born here. Access to TV time since when you're a little kid from till you die, till you're on your deathbed.
I can't argue about that.
Yeah.
There's certainly enough TVs to go around. From my perspective, I just don't see Jerry Seinfeld as funny.
Not relevant, not funny.
I like Seinfeld the show.
Yeah,
It
it's
had
a
its
great show.
moments.
It's a great show.
What I Yeah, he comes, he does a comedy show in at the Hard Rock in Fort Lauderdale. Am I
Uh-huh.
gonna go and see that?
Oh,
No, there's no way.
it's a big no-no from Lee.
I think a lot of what he said is right though. It's hard to argue, right?
Yeah,
That there's a change in the way that things get made. Maybe complaining about a certain political leaning. Like there's a lot of people on the extreme left that don't care about anything and love comedy no matter what. There's a lot of people on the extreme left who don't.
yeah.
But there is a lot of political correctness pervasive throughout society that you have to navigate to have anything made, to have something made.
There's a lot of PC behavior glorified, promoted, signaled virtuously outward from Democratic voters.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
But this is not, it wouldn't be the same as saying the far left. This is it's a lazy Susan of a slip.
But it's cool. Isn't it cool to be anti-PC? Like, isn't it, didn't they make a movie in the early 90s, PCU? Did you ever see it?
It's a great movie.
Jeremy Piven. It's one of his earliest roles.
Great actor.
And they rebel against the oncoming, the onrushing PC movement hitting their campus.
You straight up just can't have Jeremy Piven's career anymore.
But here's all you need to know. Classes, nothing before 11. Beer, it's your best friend. You drink a lot of it. Women, you're a freshman, so it's pretty much out of the question. It's a whole new ball game on campus these days, and they call it PC. Politically correct.
What shall we eat? Red meat!
What happened to the ozone layer?
It was last week. Well, now it's meat.
Let's do lunch.
Pride of the Portchester sports program, Tom. Hippie Olympics. But hey, it's the 90s. We'll take what we can get.
Gays in the military now!
Free Nelson Mandela!
They freed him already.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to revive an ancient tradition we seem to have long forgotten.
You guys are talking about a party.
Meet Dave and Dave are on beer.
Toss him in back.
Sunroof. All right.
What's everybody doing?
Finishing the thesis, buzzhead.
What? Am I okay on that side? That's good.
Play Metallica, and they will come.
Can you get us in?
Yeah, I think so.
What happened to that cute preppy cake?
You're gonna wear the shirt of the band you're gonna go see. Don't be that guy.
You know, this place is kind of insane.
PCU! Prepare yourself for initiation.
Try to relax.
Like the movies he did, the people he played. You can't have another. We can't have another Jeremy Piven. Thanks, woke.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You really can't.
I just watched
What is-
that role that he plays a drug addict that owes money and gets into fucking god damn it. I'm gonna have to look that movie up.
He's done some other stuff since Entourage, but nothing of real substance. Yeah, he won a lot of awards for Entourage, but that was a role that was made for him.
Smoking Aces.
Smoking Aces. Oh, that's a
2006. Came up on one of the streaming sites. And I was like, yeah, let me check this one out.
is it good?
Yeah. That's a recommendation from me.
Okay, Smoking Aces or
Yeah,
Smoking
Smoking Aces.
Aces?
Smoking Aces.
I'm
That
gonna
took
watch
me.
it.
That took
I'm
me a
gonna watch it.
long time to look that up, but I'll edit that in like I knew it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to chip some of that away. So smoking it, Jeremy Piven, PCU, going backwards for a second. Can't have
Mhm.
Jeremy Piven anymore. Can't make
Can't
a movie like
You can't be
PCU.
a Jeremy Piven.
So in a way, he's right. I just don't think he's a very good comedian anymore.
Yeah.
Personally, a lot of people still love him. Larry David's definitely better. So I can see critique from both sides. But ultimately, there is a lot of PC on the Democratic Party. That's where it's like you said, that's where it's
Listen up, Jeremy
not
Seinfeld,
high.
Jerry Piven. You're on dud watch. You've landed too many duds. Not relevant. People aren't going to watch unfuckable, unfrosted, whatever your show's called. Not going to watch it.
Okay, what are we talking about next?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, this lizard man. This fucking lizard man. Is he dead or isn't he dead yet? James fucking Carville.
Are you kidding me? Is this the United States of America? Is this the nation that was founded on the principle that no person is above the law? And then you tell these young people, if you don't get involved right now in this election, they're going to be involved in your life.
Okay, folks, we got another. This is the most important election of your life. Election of your life.
Can you put in a sound effect? Can you put in a sound effect like a the most important election alert? This is the most important election of your life. Part 7
of your life. How many elections have you had in your life? This is it, but this one's the most.
The rest of your freaking life.
That's your freaking life.
And if Trump and Roberts and Alito and Gorsuch and Thomas and Leonard Leo and Harris.
He's throwing 2 Leos there.
Leonard Leo. Wait, go back for a second.
And Alito and Gorsuch and Thomas and Leonard Leo.
Who's Leonard Leo? Okay, never mind.
Alito, Leonard Leo.
Foundation. If they get a hold, there will be no government left. There will be no rights left. You'll live under theocracy. You'll end up Christian nationalism. But that's all right, you little fucking 26-year-old. You don't feel like the elections?
The little fucking 26-year-old. He's pissed.
Important to me. They're not addressing the issues that I care about. Well, the New York Times wrote a story about the Harvard Youth Poll, which is a pretty good, well-regarded thing. A guy named John Della Volpe.
It's actually pretty good.
And very recently, they gave youngsters the 15 most important issues. Clocking in at number 14 was student debt. You wouldn't know that if you read the fucking press. High on the list was abortion, was interest rates, was housing affordability, well, all of these other things. You are being insufficiently served by the commentariat, and to some extent, you're being insufficiently served through democratic messages. So my advice to tell these young people to get off your motherfucking ass and go vote, because you should vote like your entire future and the entire future of this United States depends on it. Because quite
just say
frankly,
the entire future of
does.
the human race depends on it.
That's not an exaggeration.
It sounds like I just listened to some guy outside of a train stop asking for some money for the past 2 minutes. Like I'm waiting for a pause to politely say, "I'm sorry, God bless, good night," and walk on. But
it had all the vitriol of like a racist rant without any substance or any like anything to it whatsoever except exaggeration.
He made some real heartfelt points. That's right. Friend of the show, James Carville, was sharing some Wise words. Get out there and vote, folks.
Motherfuckers.
This is the most important election of our lives. Get out there and vote. He's angry. A little surly.
He's 80 years old.
God damn.
80 years old.
Still, I hope I'm still posting at that age.
He's younger than Biden. He's 79. Biden's 81. He's younger than Joe Biden.
Holy shit.
Did you see the video? Did you see the video of this dude talking to Biden and Biden just turns away from him? Did you see that? This dude is talking to him like he's 30. This guy thinks like he's like gets the way he's talking to them, but Joe Biden's looking at him. He doesn't even know what universe, what planet he's on, what country he's the president of. He has no fucking clue. He's just staring at this guy.
There's so many of these videos. Do you have one?
Yeah.
That you're talking about? Because I might not have seen this one.
outlets. I speak with over 6 million people every day. And we've been trying to catch up with you, and I've had coffee with the vice president, but whenever you're out there, we want to talk to you. Because I feel like, I don't know, I got your back. I'm just trying to, like,
President Biden,
get you to pull up.
Oh, yikes.
He's talking, this guy, and I don't know, you can't really tell what he looks like too much, but he's talking to Joe Biden. And what I'd say is like is younger American vernacular.
And I've had coffee with the vice president, but whenever you're out there, we want to talk to you. Because I feel like, I don't know.
Because I feel like, I don't know.
I got your back.
Look at his face. I got your back. He's like, look at this face right here.
He's looking at this kid talking to him. Like he's thinking, why is the help talking to me?
And then he just turns.
I'm just trying to like
bye. Yeah. What the fuck's this kid saying? It does sound as they cut it off, it sounds like they're trying to usher him back to this young man talking to him.
This is the only time I've found Joe Biden relatable.
outlets. I speak with over 6 million people every day. And we've been trying to catch up with you. And I've had
you shake hands there at all?
Whenever you're out there, we want to talk to you. Because I feel like, I don't know, I got your back. I'm just trying to like pull up.
Biden, come back, sir. Biden? Yeah, you know he has like several handlers on the floor.
I think he is turning around to his handler so they can interpret to him what this guy is saying.
Oh, yeah, he just doesn't understand him. He doesn't get. He's thinking that he's trying to heckle him. Maybe. Are you messing with me, boy? Boy, look me in my eye. Are you messing with me?
He's totally out of it. He's not even.
God.
All right. God save the Queen, man.
Have you seen this also?
In our country, I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be Momala of the country.
Folks, this is on the Drew Barrymore Show, talking with Kamala Harris. Ryan has tears streaming down his face right now.
I'm seeing this. I'm hearing this for the first time.
Do you want to hear it again?
This is, I think I saw an image of this and I didn't know what it was because it was hard to see but this all makes sense. This is
Thinking that we really
This is
all
glorious.
need a tremendous hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be Momala of the country.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Doesn't she like get on a knee or something? She takes a knee.
They cut that off there. She's sitting on a couch with Kamala.
What an insane clip there.
Did you really see her get on a knee?
I think I saw that image.
I thought you were joking.
No, I didn't know who it was, and I was like, oh, that's probably terrible.
This?
Oh, maybe it was Dylan Mulvaney.
Dylan Mulvaney?
Is this her show? Is this what she does?
Yeah, I don't think she does it with
Okay. All right. Whoa.
the
The verdict's not out. The image could still be there. Yeah. Oh man.
thing I've ever
We need you to be Momala. Momala is the title of this episode.
So here's Miles McInnes.
Oh yeah. Well, people could still recognize him.
You put a man in prison.
This isn't the funny one. He's actually getting legitimately mad at someone. I'm never gonna be able to find it. It's so hard to find.
What? It's hard to search on X.com.
Yeah, it's
It is. It really is.
I remember the story you told me about the guy you work with that like doesn't have anything but Twitter. Like that's his only form of information. Or no, he didn't know. Sorry, you needed to help him watch Tucker.
Oh yeah. One of the older dudes. Yep.
He he didn't know how to watch Tucker anymore because he wasn't on Fox News.
That's right.
He's not on the TV anymore. Or how do I get this? How do I get him?
How do I get my
See
Tucker?
on this? Is it xxx.com?
That's you live 56 years with a television. How you gonna change that?
Yeah,
It's a
really.
television. You should have one when you get your social security number and card. They should issue out a baby television and then more credits for up until you're an adult to have an adult television. And then like every couple of years you get the new version. It's like a ticket system. Or they just mail it directly to you. They have Amazon pick it up for you. Because that would be probably more reliable than the Postal Service. Which is for some people that I work with, they still collect checks. They still get paid through like a mail out check.
Yeah.
So it has to be mailed from the vendors that we work for. They talk about, yeah, the mail system it's broken. Whatever was making it work.
I can't envision relying on the mail working for me to get my money.
I know. It probably helps them. It probably helps them from spending it too quick. So maybe.
Yeah, it's a good point, right? If you don't have it, you can't spend it. It's not in your bank account.
You know what? Now that I'm saying this out loud, it kind of sounds like the universe is self-correcting. Say, hey, you get that paycheck now, maybe you're going to spend it for the weekend. It takes another week or two. You have no choice but to go put that money into rent so you don't get evicted.
Yeah. I found the video.
I can take you. We have a tent encampment here. It's sort of
autonomous zone in Seattle.
Yeah. It was called Chaz until people started making fun of us because of Chaz Bono. So we changed it to Chop.
I would make fun.
This doesn't have a name yet. A lot of people are calling it Tent Town. And it's just a way to oppose transatlantic slave trade and colonialism. And obviously to oppose the genocide going on in Israel right now. Community guidelines written out there.
Who wrote those guidelines?
We all came up with it together.
Was there like a vote or something?
Yeah, we don't wear shoes. Shoes are not a big deal for us. You'll notice we have very high quality tents.
Where did those come from? Who paid for the tents?
Our parents, mostly. But it rains here. It's as you can see, we practice what's called back security.
You're 50 years old.
Using your back. And we have seminars in there. We have bongo drums. We have security and 2 layers of security. And
women first, then men.
Yep. And so it's even if you tried bum rushing the show, we wouldn't let you in. and a lot of it is just hanging around. We've been trying to put some tarps on a tent here using tape, and it's not going well because none of us have actually had a job before, so we don't know how to do stuff.
Not really, or outdoorsy people.
Not really. I mean, you'll notice a lot of these tents are brand new, so it's the first time they've been used.
What does demilitarized education mean?
Oh, see, this is where media training comes in handy. So to demilitarize education means to have a pedagogy that teaches that war is wrong. A lot of the history, a lot of the pedagogy at the school will promote colonialism, and we talk about it through the prism of genocide. So World War I was genocide. World War II was genocide. Vietnam was genocide of the Vietnamese people. Israel is a giant genocide.
You're talking about the obvious stuff like history and politics, but what about math or physics? How do you demilitarize? How do you queer mathematics? How do you queer physics?
You make it available to other people. If you look at the Fields medals, not one homosexual has ever run the Fields medal in mathematics. Why is that?
Normally, protesters want to talk to people. Why do you think everyone here is so shy?
Because we don't want to give Nazis a platform. So we have media trained people that, again, are over there. You can work with them, and it's fine. But I think, if you have any questions, it's all right there. Financial divestment, academic boycott.
He can barely read.
We don't let any Israelis in the school, I guess. Don't invest in Israel. And then stop displacing Palestinians on campus. And no police on campus. And end the silence, but from media-trained people. It seems pretty obvious to me.
Anyway, some funny moments from there.
Who is this dupe? Who this interviewer? Was he a part of it?
Yeah, no, he was in on. He was it's someone who is one of his partners at his media company.
Oh, I thought he found someone who was coming up to try to interview someone, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'll do the interview."
That would have been the funniest goddamn thing. But like, it's too obvious that he's.
There's no way. Yeah, he's noticeable.
But he's also too niche for those kids to know who he is in a lot of ways. Also, well, he couldn't actually go in, but no one came up to him and stopped him.
Hey, I thought that guy was just trying to get an interview.
That would make it so fucking funny. But if he was able to do that, if he had taken a fake vest and just started doing interviews about the encampment, it would have been such a good bit.
Yeah, as it stands, but he gave it a go. You know what? If I was him, I would just edit it as that guy doesn't know him. I would have. That's how I would have pulled.
It's a great idea, right?
Yeah,
it's a brilliant idea.
We gotta reach out to him from the show.
Yeah, let him know.
We did send a message out to Jerry Seinfeld, letting him know that if he would like a platform to reach out to the show, so we could get him on. Maybe try to set his career in the proper direction.
Well, he's a Mossad spy, so we can't have him on the show right now.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah. We don't want to platform a Nazi.
Nazi platform revoked. Sorry. Because this ship is sailing to the top of the charts. We got a lot going on. We don't need any anchors getting caught up. The trenches below. Guess you suck.
But that video with Drew Barrymore is scary. Scary.
Momala.
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 Momala Harris. Will you be our Momala?
Momala.
To Kamala Harris.
We need Momala.
Kamala Harris can't put 3 sentences together in an order that makes sense. She can't speak. She speaks in fucking riddles. What do you want from her?
She's off them pills. She's got like Klonopins. She is floating through life. She's living her best life. She's looking great. I'm ready. Kamala 2024. I really do hope that it happens.
Are you an accelerationist? Do you know what that means?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, there's probably a lot of accelerationism that I don't quite agree with. And a broad term, sure. But we get Kamala in the White House, we're going to get comedy back. That's what's going to happen. We get comedy with Joe. but they lock him up. He's
Yeah.
sedated. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not really
They locked
engaging.
him up.
Yeah. After activity in Israel, there was this tweet like Biden to make a statement soon on such and such event, and then like a half hour later, Biden not to speak on this topic. Update. Like they couldn't get him out of bed. They didn't have the right anesthesiologist to dope him up for the conversation. He was too gone already. It was after dinner at 4 p.m. So they didn't catch him
Did
in
you
time.
see he was at the correspondence dinner eating his salad? Like, I thought the video was in slow motion, but it was actually in real time. But it was too late for him. It was like nine o'clock at night or something, and he had just lost all motor function by that time, and they couldn't give him any more juice that day. So he was completely out of it. I guess he gave a speech. He had to give a speech. He got up there and spoke, but
Sleepy Joe.
oh, sleepy Joe Biden. Kamala would bring an amazing level of hilarity. It would also probably devolve into the real Civil War, not the movie that came out, a real one.
Oh yeah. I mean, there would be a lot of really upset people about a Kamala victory. A lot of upset people.
I think probably more than people were upset about Trump.
We could get COVID levels of dispute and online aggression again.
When you've lived through COVID, everything is just like so mid by
Mm-hmm.
comparison.
Yeah.
Nothing compares to early spring of 2020.
The feeling of like the world and possibility taking a significant step in the wrong direction. Possibilities for things, that window closing, it getting a little bit smaller. Feeling right before that, a lot of hope, a lot of positivity, and that hits. And it feels like a bubble bursting, just a downsizing on my existence. But yeah, when you live through COVID, and if you're around for the shitty parts, if you existed through that, through the lens of like the average human on Earth, yeah, you're like rubbing your hands together and say, "Ooh, bring on the next heaping helping
shit show
of garbage in a bowl because I want all the juice with it." Speaking of presidents, Donald J. Trump.
It's our boy.
Rumors from the courthouse. Our boy is pulling his phone out during the court activity.
You can't do that
in the courtroom.
You can't do that.
I guess the judge is saying he's got to put it up. He puts it in his front coat pocket, and he looks annoyed that he has to do it. He's falling asleep. He is ripping ass, farting uncontrollably while he sleeps. So much so that his own legal staff is complaining about it. The man is just like me.
Publicly complaining about it.
He's so relatable.
He's bored. Wouldn't you be?
They're making him go. They're making
They
him
are. He's so bored.
They're making him be there because it's like kind of all this going to happen.
Yeah, for real. Let me ask you a question. Let's say he becomes president. You're the judge who presided over that and made him stay in court for 3 weeks straight. You scared or what?
Absolutely, you are. Absolutely, you are. So we're seeing the Democratic push right now. Momala going on Drew Barrymore, James Carville doing a rock the vote for Biden.
Yeah, that both very effective, extremely effective. The Drew Barrymore show. Can you imagine the viewership ratings there? There's more people who watch Tucker Carlson in 5 minutes than all of anyone who's ever watched Drew Barrymore. I can promise you that.
What? Well, that's probably on like a network though, right?
I couldn't tell you.
Anyways, no one's watching.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's watching. And what was the other one?
James Carville.
The Lizard Man?
The Lizard
The
Man.
Louisiana Lizard Man?
Don't look at it like they're going to throw their heavy hitters round one. This is the initial phase. This is the buildup of a campaign, what you're seeing right now. These
Folks, we have
small
entered the political campaign strategy time of garbage juice. Sorry, let them cook. Let 'em cook.
platforms of a decent size and things that exist with the ease of access to like a network show or something of a certain age group would be more inclined to watch. This is that initial tier of the delivery of like, actually, guys, Biden's pretty cool. Biden, for real, slaps. That will come a little later, like the deep youth appeal. Right now, that's a Gen X launch. Because Gen X has never paid attention, and now they're making up a lot of the percent of the voting Americans as the boomers are dying. The great boomer die-off of 2020.
The great boomer die-off. The great replacement theory is to replace boomers with Gen Z.
In Yellowstone, Kevin Costner's character is in like a mob-style crime fight with other rancher families and other scandalous characters. And one of his enemies flies a skydiving plane, something with a large door, over his cattle, and they throw out clover, baled up clover.
What's that do?
The cows eat this. It makes them gaseous, extremely gassy, to the point that it kills them. You have to like stab their stomach if they get into it. I'm assuming that's real. I didn't DYOR on that.
Do your own research, folks. Like I'm trying to do right now.
My point to this is fucking COVID was dropped on Americans like clover on a herd of cattle, and then it killed a lot of Americans. And Americans, of course, are kind of like cattle. They're very bovine-ish on average. So, and back to you, John, in the studio.
Thank you for the report, Ryan. Look, so I didn't want to bitch about this, but I have to complain to someone. During Passover, I don't eat bread. So it's like you're so used to it. If you're not gluten-free, you're used to having bread. And when you don't have it, you get hungry all the time. You're just hungry constantly. All you are is hungry. So you don't actually lose any weight because you're eating all the time. Bread is actually, like, when you get used to it in a lot of ways, pretty effective at keeping you full for what you eat.
Yeah.
But when you don't have it, you're just hungry all day. You're eating like fucking berries, crackers, fucking nuts. You're like I'm like a rabbit, like a scavenger, meat.
Like a squirrel.
You're just hungry all the time. Now I know what it was like to live like a long time ago. Because when you don't eat bread, you're like a hunter-gatherer again. It's what civilizes us, bread and pasta. Or else we're just animals.
Completely different life. No carbs or bread.
Well, you can have rice. You can have, potatoes.
I'd beat a shit ton of that.
Beans. I had sushi, but bread is the great wheat. Just keeps you full longer for less.
I mean, it's great to go days with multiple bread meals. Start off your day with a bagel and go get you a bread bowl for lunch, like a nice chowder in there or bisque inside your bread bowl.
It's a good middle class lunch right there.
And then deep dish Chicago style pizza pie, couple inches thick. That's living the good life right there.
That is, but yeah, I don't have any of that right now.
So you haven't had bread since last week?
Fucking last Monday, maybe last Sunday.
You feel like you're about to punch through a wall?
I'm so mad. My wife is so pissed about everything because the French, like, she's French, so all she knows how to do is to eat gluten and
So
smoke cigarettes and
it's
drink coffee. So like the three main food groups for the French for her
yeah.
are coffee, cigarettes with joints, because she, like everything she smokes has to have in it, so it's cigarettes with in them.
Respect.
And so cigarettes, coffee, and gluten, pasta, pizza, croissant, bagels. So like this is the French. These are the food pyramid
Right.
for the Americans, right?
Mhm.
Like wheat, fruits, vegetables. Hers is just a square, a food square, and there's one third that's baked goods, another third that's cigarettes, and another third that's coffee. That's the French food square.
That's like the pyramid that I go after when I'm on vacation. When I'm in vacation mode, that's what I'm doing right there.
Did you want to see some crazy shit going on at VCU right now? This is amazing. It's like a medieval siege. This shit is wild, dude. You gotta see this. We gotta, whether we keep this in or not, you gotta see this. This is tonight at VCU, so it's in Richmond, Virginia. Dude, these people really don't give a fuck. They're taking these police and they're just saying, fuck you. You have your shields, we have our signs, get fucked.
Yep. There's the mace.
Yeah, there goes the mace. There's too many people. They can't, what are they gonna do? Arrest all of them? Those cops have to be fucking terrified. There's like 3,000 college kids there and 30 of them. What a joke.
That'd be intense.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, you gotta just tear gas them out. That's the only way. If you really want it done, you have to just start fucking throwing tear gas, water cannons.
That was police at VCU taking on
in Richmond. Everyone. Taking on everyone.
That doesn't look like an encampment.
No, that looks like a mob of people.
A rally, but not an encampment. And yep.
No,
because that's the thing. Now it's like, no, they can't. We cannot. It's immediate. VCU's organized their movement tonight, like I guess a lot of other.
This is okay. This is all right. They're just dancing around and they're just, look at the water bottle. Just throw trash at them. The thing is, if only they could show behind this here. There's like thousands of students behind that.
Yeah, it's insane to just send
30 cops.
Just like 2 vans of cops. Like it's that many people. So you got to imagine there's reinforcements. I don't know. Maybe everything's going to be depleted. Maybe we'll start seeing hiring billboards for being one of these cops with a shield cop, anti-protester cop.
This looks like a fucking music festival, dude. This doesn't look like a protest I've seen.
They are, I guess, in front of a building.
This is the craziest one I've fucking seen. There's not hundreds, there's thousands of people out there. Oh, they got AOC. They got AOC?
That's an old clip.
Is that an old clip?
That's from something else. When did this happen? Wow.
Salacious. That looks so real. So real.
It's like a cringy thing. The fake AI generated scandalous photos of people.
It's crazy how real it looks.
That's what came up with Taylor Swift, who's trying to bring legal action on somebody. We talked about that on a previous episode.
But how do someone just makes it and fucking he distributes it somewhere, some anonymous person.
Folks, that was a lingerie image of Bobert and AOC standing together, posing with lingerie on in AI generated deepfake style. Remember deepfake was what it was called for a minute?
I think it still is. I think they still are called deepfakes, if I'm not mistaken.
Deepfakes is the use of AI to just like swap a face on another body and make them do things that they.
Yeah, you know how you know it? You know how you know it? Actually, I'll show you real fast. This here, you see how their hands are all fucked up?
Always look at the hands. They can
You
never
always
get
got to look at the hands.
the hands. They
Can't
can't
get the
figure
hands right.
out the-
Everything else is perfect, but the hands.
And the
Fuck that up.
well, yeah, and they give them like the bodies of models, you know, like Victoria's Secret models.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, if those two could come together for a sexual escapade, I think we'd have all our problems solved in this country, wouldn't we, Ryan?
That'd be a winning ticket right there.
Bobert, AOC, co-presidents.
Yeah, I've said this. One of our future presidents will be like an OnlyFans model at some point. You know, there'll be all the signifiers of something newer.
I eagerly await the day.
More modern, but with all the values of what did James Carville say? The Heritage Foundation.
Leo Leonard and
Leo
Goruch. And that damn what's his name? Clarence Thomas.
Well, you got anything else?
Ryan's had enough for this evening. Been working hard, man. I can tell.
I got a fucking early morning tomorrow. But this was great that you were available.
Of course, I make myself available for you.
Thank you for that.
Anytime. And perfect timing. The Zoom froze on my end, so I cannot stop sharing the screen.
Can you see my screen?
I can barely see you, but you're like a white, very small white square on my screen right now. It's strange, I know.
You're frozen on my end.
I know. But you can hear me still. It's my ghost. It's the ghost of Lee.
Ended by Zoom.
Now in darkness, world stops turning. Ashes where the body's burning. No more war pigs have the power. And as God has struck the hour, day of judgment, God is calling. On the knees, the war pigs crawling, begging mercies for the sins. Satan laughing spreads his wings. Oh Lord, yeah.
Get off your motherfucking ass and go vote.